Okay, just a reminder, if you're following along the document, hopefully at this point, you know we're on the Sage portion of it, right? What does that mean? You read this section over here. Let me get my highlighter out. Just give me a moment here. Click on this video over here. It goes through a short, kind of introduction to Sage Math and how to install it on your computer, all right? It also talks about another document that I've written to help students learn some of the commands in Sage, right? But what have we done so far? Let me just remind you. We've talked about, we did problem number one. We did it by basically doing this business over here. We also talked about the Sage snip, and I'd gone through that, and hopefully you made sense out of that, including the equivalency of the answers, that this answer that we give you over here is identical to this one over here. Same thing over here. We did this by hand, we got that. And then we went through some Sage over here. Did we learn something new in the second problem? We did. Looking at the commands, what did we learn about this? Assignment operators, how to check if things are equal. We use Boolean, or equivalent, we should say. We use Boolean operators. We know that the antiderivatives were not equal, that I found. The one that Sage found, the one I found, were not the same. They did differ by a constant. How do we know that? We looked at the graph of it. How else would we know that? We looked at the derivatives of those two antiderivatives, and they were the same. They differ by a constant. All right, we're on problem number 3, and I want to point out that when I did problem number 3, I was kind of surprised to see, I thought it was a rather easy problem to do. Maybe I shouldn't say easy, but it was a problem that we were able to do by hand. Now, granted, you may need a hint on this one over here, but we did go through it. We went through all this business over here, and we got an answer in the end that was rather kind of simplistic, by the way. And then when I went to Sage, I noticed that it's similar, but not the same thing. I'm looking at it, and I noticed that this is rather confusing over here, looking at this over here. So what I want to talk about is that, when you get this over here, I'm not going to say it's the end-all in your software usage, but that's using Sage. You gave me that. And what I did was I wonder what Wolfram would give me back. And Wolfram, when I gave it to Wolfram, and Wolfram's another web-based application, by the way, Wolfram Alpha. I think it's a great product. It's commercial. And when I gave it this integral here, what did it spit back? The same one that we got by hand. And that's important, by the way, that you start to look at one package, another package, just like when you're doing web searches, you might do, use one web browser for a certain activity, another web browser for another activity, including search engines and all these AI tools that are out there now. There's a lot of different things, and you're going to get a variety of answers, by the way, some more convincing than the others, all right? Thank you for paying attention.